We are live. All right. Tonight, I'm going to be doing some Lunar New Year nails. I'm a day late for the first day, for the official start of the Lunar New Year festivities. But depending on, whose Lunar New Year celebration you're going by, it can be an extensive celebration that can last a good long time. And so, if you're a day or two late, you're not actually late. You're just not there for the first day. Hello, welcome everybody. I, as usual, have no plan. Well, I shouldn't say I have no plan. I have I have an outline of a concept of a plan. So, I sat down and started getting stuff set up and pulled a few different polishes, and I tried one thing. I'm doing okay, Polished Ashes, thank you. I'm doing all right. I'm feeling snaky today. We're going snaky. So a thing that I tried just as I was sitting down and sort of prepping my nails and stuff, I decided to try layering this Monarch Love Struck over top of Monarch Ruby Rush. Ruby Rush I got as PR. I think Love Struck I purchased. I'm pretty sure that was in a box that I purchased. If I'm incorrect about that, then I will try and remember to correct myself. Yeah, life is totally lifing, for sure. Yes, it does look like a turkey, but only because I was just swatching out some colors. So this big patch here is one coat of Love Struck over top of a velvet layer of Ruby Rush. And so I really like the way that came out. I think it's kind of an interesting look. And so I think that's what I'm gonna probably do. Mitchie Alston has no audio. I have no way to help with that. I assume everybody else has audio since Polished Ashes is responding to some Monarch stuff. Although neither of these is a shimmer. This one is a magnetic, and this one is a glitter. These colors are all these golds that I have, or gold and gold adjacent colors that I have up here. And so, hey, Couch Potato. And so I kind of just tried a bunch of those, and I think they're in order here. So I've got a couple that are just like definitely toppers. So that's these two at the end here. So I've got the Cirque Sunkissed, which is the larger gold flake, and then this Abomination Blondie, which I got as PR, and that one is a very fine pale gold flake. Well, it's not really, it's like microflakes. Yeah, it's not really a glitter, it's like a microflake. I also have Goats in Trees from Monarch, which I bought from PPU a couple months ago. Which is not really gold, but gives gold vibes at certain angles and has this nice gold flake in it. You thought you'd mention the shimmer that Monarch is known for? Yeah, they do very, very good shimmers. Oh, Mitchie, I'm so glad you got your sound working. And then the next one I have here is another Abomination. Again, that one was... No, I purchased this one. I bought this one. This is Golden Dragon. I bought this one. So that's this darker gold here. That's sort of more of like an antique, almost copper-leaning gold. And then the Twinkled T stamping polish, which it never came with a label, and I don't remember what they call it. But it's this one here. And then oh, I think these two might be backwards. Yeah, this one is Golden Glimmer from, this one's also a magnetic one, from Monarch. And then this one's Candyman, Candyman, Candyman from BCB from a couple months ago, and that was also a PR one. So I'm trying to do my disclosures as I go along here, introducing the polishes so that I haven't forgotten about any of them, and obviously I'll list in the description when I post the VOD as well. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at here. What brand was the dark gold polish? You mean this one here? This is Abomination. So this is their old bottle style. Their new bottles look like this. And the brush is on the new bottles is a little different. But yeah, that's their old packaging for Abomination. They do some really nice cremes. I mean, all the stuff that I've gotten from them has been quite nice, but yeah. Oh, it's that Michelle. Hello, Michelle. I'm sorry that you had sound issues. I'm glad you sorted it out, and welcome. You hate the bottles, but you need one? Well, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, so I think I'm going to definitely do this base for sure, because I really like how that came out. I like the sort of dynamism of the velvet style there, and I like the sparkle that Love Struck brings. So definitely going to do that as my base, and then I just have to figure out which gold I want to use and what the hell I'm going to do with that gold, because honestly, I don't know. Like, I think we need some sort of snake motif. I think we need some sort of moon motif. But I don't know beyond that. You've been busy with your divorce, Polished Ashes? You know what? I hope that when all is said and done, you are relieved and feeling freed. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah. Naiwa, you've arrived. Hello. You have to go soon, don't you, Naiwa? Didn't you say you were only going to be able to pop by for a bit at the beginning? You've missed me introducing the possible polishes, but you can see if you have a specific gold that you think goes best with this red that I'm going to be doing here. We can talk, Polished Ashes. I've been there. At this point, I'm kind of leaning toward one of these two, or possibly Candyman. Although Candyman might lean a little too orange when the shimmer gets into play. I'm not sure. So I'm kind of leaning that direction. I feel like the magnetic Monarch Golden Glimmer, I think it's called. Yeah, Golden Glimmer. I feel like this one might be a little bit too almost greenish. Same with Goats and Trees. It goes from almost greenish to almost orangish, and I feel like it's not quite hitting the right spot. There might be a place for one or both of these flakies, but I'm thinking the main gold design, probably one of these two, or this one. You're thinking, Naiwa, you say the fourth one, this one here. That it's like a more almost coppery leaning gold. It's real pretty. Yeah, I'm thinking like, because it's Lunar New Year theme, right? So I'm kind of thinking that I want to do sort of gold and red, just because, you know, that's sort of the thing with, whoop. Don't put those too close together all at once, Peggy. These, I just got these fun little, hello, 3D printed, these shorter 3D printed ones, and I need to like They're just a little bit, yeah, I can't do that. They're just a little bit too loose in there. They don't fit quite snug enough. So I need to like somehow fit them in better so that I can have them side by side. You know what, I'm just gonna set these aside for the moment and deal with them later and just use one of them at a time. They're just, the allowance on it is just a little bit too tight. So I'm gonna have to do a little something to help tighten that up a little bit. The other one that I have, the longer one, is really snug. These guys here, they do not move at all, and I think it's just a difference in like either the batch of the magnets or the specific printing, like either the material that you're printing with or the printer itself, how much how accurate it is. Because some of them seem to be slightly tighter than others. Yeah, Naiwa, this is for Lunar New Year. Couch Potato loves polish. If I go silent, I fell asleep. Yeah, you know, I can't talk about sleep schedules because I usually go to sleep at like 3 or 4 in the morning. But I try. I don't try. I'm lying. I don't try. I don't try to do better at all. I just suffer, and then I try to have a nap later. And I only can nap like a variably small proportion of the time. So, you know, sometimes I'll be able to nap every day for a few days, and then other times I'll go weeks without being able to nap. So, you know, I'm basically just out here suffering most days on 4 hours of sleep. But thankfully, nothing critical relies on me. So it's all good. So yeah, I'm thinking with these magnets, what I might do is just put a little bit of E4000 or E6000 rather on the base of them, and just glue them into place, and then I won't have to worry about it. Cat, having a 9 to 5 gets in the way of that lifestyle? Yeah, sucker. So does the human spawn? Yeah, sucker. Way to make babies and have a job. I do miss having a job. I would like to work again. But instead I'm stuck here doing this shit for funsies. You complain about sleeping late and then stay up late and do nothing to change it? Yeah, that's exactly correct. That's how we operate. All right, I think we want a second coat on these. Seems dry enough already. Can you have a couple of these magnets? Yeah, of course, Kat. Yeah, I've got a bunch. I got some more of the magnets that fit in them. I got another container of them, so I have plenty of spares. I'm gonna send one to Brittany. I have to mail that. You know how good I am at mailing things. Couch Potato, it's 2:13 for you? You usually sleep between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m.? Are you kidding me? Like you go to sleep between 5 and 7 a.m.? That's even worse than me. That's like when my husband goes to bed. He's like, basically I go to bed, it's like 3 or 4 in the morning, and he's still not in bed, and I wake up and I, go about my day, and a few hours later he wakes up. That's how it works most of the time. That's all right though. His job allows him that flexibility, and he seems to work best at night. Probably because he isn't being distracted by his wife. Although before I came along, it was the same thing. He had the same schedule, so I guess I can't really take credit for that. Okay. I think that's probably enough for that. I was actually doing like 4 magnets side by side when I was not filming with no problem whatsoever. So of course, as soon as I'm trying to do it while live streaming, that is the moment that it screws up for me. And I've done it several times and had absolutely none of the magnets try to murder each other or myself. So I really love that the first time I try and do it actually on camera, it immediately explodes. All right. So Kat's supposed to be coming over in a couple of days, and on her way through. And because we don't actually live close to each other, but I happen to live close to some family that she visits, and so on the way to and from, sometimes I get a visit. So she's coming by, and hopefully, going to be able to get me set up so that I can stream using my camera rather than just my phone. And if we can get me set up so I can stream on my camera, then I can stream on YouTube. And if I can stream on YouTube, then I don't have to do weird shit where I'm like posting the VODs, having to spend half the day editing the VODs from Instagram Live to post them onto YouTube and manage 2 cameras at the same time and all of this nonsense. So hopefully that works out. If that works out and everything is working properly and I can manage to figure it out on my own after she's gone as well, then maybe we'll be streaming directly on YouTube. Like maybe even as soon as next week. So that would be amazing. And maybe I can even stream in both places simultaneously. So yeah. We'll keep our fingers crossed that everything works well. I know Kat knows what she's doing, but also sometimes working with other people's tech can be a little bit weird. And also, I am on all Mac products, and Kat uses, I believe, Windows and Linux. And so it's a little different. Actually, Kat might just be just Windows. I'm not sure. But anyway, hopefully it all works out. We'll see. We'll see. I downloaded OBS onto my laptop, and I have some of the cables, and Kat's bringing me a capture card. You have successfully streamed on YouTube before, so you have done this once? Yes. Having multiple chats might indeed be hard to keep up with, Naiwa. However, I have like maybe a dozen followers on my YouTube channel. So I don't anticipate there being a ton of chatters. When I'm doing something that's really fairly intense, in terms of like holding my attention, I'm not chatting regardless. So I'll just have 2 chats to ignore during those times, and 2 probably slower chats to deal with when I'm able to actually look. I don't anticipate it being a huge problem, and I also don't know whether that's even going to work out well for me in terms of like doing both at once. I also don't know. I just realized I've got a little teensy hangnail here. I'm just going to clip real quick. And yeah, so it may end up being the case that I just start streaming on YouTube only, and then posting the links here. That's also an option. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it is a lot of the same people. That's true. It would just... The biggest thing would be that it would very much simplify my post-stream process, because basically I wouldn't really have to do much of anything. All right, so for this layer, this is not a magnetic, but because it is going to a little bit re-wet the layer underneath it, I'm still going to have the magnet under it, just in case anybody is confused about this, because yeah, it's not a magnetic polish, but it's the same sort of thing as when you're adding a top coat to a magnetic. You still want to have the magnet there to maintain that field whenever the magnetic polish is wet and the pigment particles are able to move around. Simulcast on Twitch as well. Yeah, I mean, in theory, I probably could, but, you know, I am a bear of very little brain. A chubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff. So, YouTube, you need to apply to stream, and then after 24 hours, you get approved. Also 50 subs. Okay, so I might not be allowed to stream yet. That's interesting. Well, I'll still set myself up regardless. Do I have 58? Really? How is that possible? I thought I had like a dozen at most. Who the hell are these people out there subbing to my channel? I don't get it. Or following my channel. Whatever you call it on YouTube. You can tell I really pay attention to these things. Very concerned about my numbers. $59! Oh my goodness. Naiwa here with the good news. Have you heard the good news about our Lord and Savior followers? The stream gods must be so happy. They've obviously been pleased with my sacrifices. All those goats in the backyard. I'm kidding. I do not sacrifice goats. I have never sacrificed a goat for any reason. I don't even think I've hurt the goat directly. I don't even like to eat goats, even if somebody else does the sacrificing for me. Goat cheese, though. I'll demolish some goat cheese. YouTube recommended my channel to you, Naiwa? Wow. Wow. Thanks, YouTube. Is it posted in the Discord? Yeah, I think I've posted... I think I might have posted the link for one of my VODs on Nicole's Discord. You like goat? It's delicious. I've had it. I'm not a huge... Look at this. I dinged this frickin' finger already. It's usually just a little bit too gamey for me, although in some things it's okay. Like if it's heavily spiced, it can be nice, which like, you know, like a lot of like Caribbean food is often quite flavorful and heavily spiced, and in those contexts I don't mind it so much. But yeah, it's I'm just not a huge fan of very gamey foods. But goat cheese, yeah, I'll demolish some goat cheese. Goat cheese, especially like, so I used to make these little goat cheese balls that were like just like kind of like a truffle, but like a cheese ball. So it's but individual size, like small ones, like yay big, right? With either honey or some kind of jam in the middle, and then goat cheese, and then the whole thing rolled in like crushed nuts of some sort. Depending on what kind of filling I had for it, I would, you know, obviously choose various different kinds of nuts to go with. But yeah, freaking delicious. All right. The worst is freaking lamb and mutton. With like the way that people who are afraid of flavor like to prepare it, like with mint sauce and stuff. It's just freaking nasty. I've never appreciated that. Lamb with mint sauce. I know it's popular. I know lots of people like it, but ugh. I don't get it. And I like mint. I love minty stuff. I love mint when it's sweet. I love mint when it's savory. I love mint. But yuck. Not my thing. All right, we're almost done with our base. I am going to throw a coat of seal glaze on top of this just to keep the magnetic from moving when we do the rest of the stuff that we're going to do. So, move these guys out of the way. It's very pretty so far. I really like this combination. I do have that little ding there, but I think as long as we cover it up with a bit of nail art, I don't think it's going to be noticeable. It's barely noticeable now, so. So I'm trying to think about like what I want to actually do for the nail art. Like, do I want to have a snake that goes across the whole thing? Do I want to do like more of a moon dominant design? Do I want to go fully abstract? There's a ton of options. I could do worms with snake tongues. I don't know if everyone here, I know a bunch of you have definitely seen Linery's Worms with Snake Tongues, Manny. But those of you who have not, if you're not already following Wow Linery, go check out her snakes with tongue, or her worms with tongues, because it's fucking hilarious. It's basically perfect. Couch Potato has goat trauma. When you were little, you visited your mom's family. There was a baby goat. Sister made dinner and the baby goat was gone. Oh my god, my mom has a story like that too. They had a pet pig and the same thing happened. She thought it was a pet. Nobody else in the family was under that impression. Yeah, worst case, it's hooked up to OBS and recording in a single video. I can like record it so I don't have to, because right now, like, it's actually going to do it in any second now. My camera, the way that I have it recording, it shuts off after 30 minutes because it's just recording to the SD card, which is very annoying because then I have to like continue restarting it. So if I'm recording it and having it captured through OBS, I can just save it as a single file, and that alone is going to make a huge difference. Not having to deal with restarting it all the time, and also not having to stitch them together. All right. So in terms of which color we want to do here, I think it has to be this lighter gold. I think the lighter gold, this one here, is the one that goes the best. I did see a couple of votes for that one. So I think we'll just go with that. That's the Twinkled T. It's actually a stamping polish, but we can still paint with it. Especially since it's going to be like with a detail brush anyway. So what am I gonna do? What if I did like hang on, what if I did, let me get a pen pen. Let me get a pen. How does this pen open? Pen, how do you work? But I think I can make this work. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I think if I make it large enough, I can do it. The question is, do I want to do it directly on my nails, or do I want to do it on a stamper head so that if I fuck it up, I can fix it easily? Or do I want to do it directly on my nails, but also do a top coat to protect it? Minchie, you never plan your manis? This is as much planning as I ever do. Like, literally figuring it out as I go along. This is me planning. I know people that, like, draw shit out in advance and have the whole thing sketched out and they know exactly what they're doing. And I can't operate that way. Once again, being a rebel with the Seal Glaze, not waiting 30 minutes before applying my next coat. I'm just throwing a top coat on here, regular top coat, so that if I screw up with my art, I can just erase it. A phase of the moon on each section or nail, that might work for space considerations. Although I kind of like the idea of having at least two segments visible, like two phases visible. Like, what if it was like the head on the thumb, and then like coming down having two phases here, and then the next two here, and then the next two here, and then the tail. That could be a thing. Of course, then I have to figure out how to pose with my thumb in the frame such that the head lines up. But it's either that or if the head has to be on the pinky, which has less real estate. Yeah, planning helps do the manis faster because you can think about it as things are drying. Yeah. That's basically like I can't move on to the next stage anyway, so I might as well be thinking about what I'm doing. But that's the extent of my planning. That's about all I do. Whoops, that's the wrong bin. Yeah, I think maybe that's the way to do it, because then I get the snake and the moon thing in there. I think that'll work. So the next thing is figuring out that's my 15 millimeter, that's probably fine. Sort of laying it out on the nails. All right. Make the thumb under the index? Absolutely not, Naiwa. What kind of monster are you? I'm not posing like this. I'm never posing like this. I refuse to do it. I won't do it. I will happily pose like this, but I'm not posing like this. No. You can pose like that. That's fine. I'm not going to say anybody else shouldn't pose like that. But I never like how it looks when I pose like that. I'm always unhappy with it. I always end up, anytime I try that, I end up throwing those photos out because I hate them. All right, I am going to add a little bit of thinner to this. I have a brush in my mouth, so I can't really talk right now. That's why I'm being quiet. You guys caught that, right? Okay. If anybody doesn't understand why I'm doing what I'm doing with the brush right now, I'm loading the middle part of the brush in between the bristles so that it gets all the way to the core, which helps avoid the really bad, you know, ball at the end. Okay, so if I want to do thinking like this kind of a thing, bring that down, and then this way. I'm just doing a rough sort of figuring out general placement stuff. Up here. We'll go a little more down that way. And then this one's gonna come up. And then the tail. So that will be quite a bit narrower. Okay. The claw! Yes, Linry, I can't bring myself to do it. Alright, so I think I'm going to move on to the smaller brush now. The reason I use the longer liner brush to sort of plan it out is because it helps get cleaner curves, sort of smoother arcs. But it's not that great for doing any kind of detailed stuff. So for just laying out the broad strokes of the curves, the liner brush is generally preferable, for me at least. All right. I'm gonna thin this out a bit more. Love the accent. What accent? Did I do an accent? I just talk, and sometimes things come out of my mouth that I am unaware of. I guess I'll find out when I listen to this later when I'm editing. Guess I'll find out. All right, what do snakeheads look like? I don't freaking know. They're just like little nubs, right? Little nubbins. I think they're just little nubbins. We're just gonna make them be little nubbins. And then we'll give this guy a little tongue. Give him a little forked tongue here. There we go. And he probably needs a little eyeball, I think. How do snake eye work? I'm not an expert in snakes. I don't know shit about snakes. I mean, I know a little bit about snakes, but they're no bugs, I'll tell you that much. That's vaguely snaky, right? Seems like a thick snake. I feel like his eyes might be too far forward. Tips of a shoe, Pac-Man, worm. Y'all are so helpful. Oh my god. What would I do without you? Linry does love worms, but that's only because Linry knows what's good. Worms are good. I'm gonna actually just do a little... Oh, you know what? I should use the other one here. Use this smaller one. Just gonna take away a little bit of mouth space here. We'll go, hello little snack. Okay, good enough. All right, Naiwa, see you later. All right. Now, I think the next thing is going to have to be sort of roughing in those moons. Make sure this works. Linnery, are you saying no, you don't love worms? Worms are good. Worms are important. There's a lot of different kinds of worms. Okay, so I think we want, let's do a little crescent moon first here. And I'm trying to do sort of the negative space around where the moon will be, because the moons I want to be red. And the rest of the snake will be gold. So there's one crescent, and then the next one will be a half moon. I mean, obviously I could do more phases than just crescent, half moon, and full moon, but I do kind of feel like more than that becomes, oh, you know what? Maybe I can kind of just do all three of them. That actually seems like it's going to fit just fine. Or at least have most of all three of them on here. I feel like trying to do more than 3 phases. Well, not really 3. It's going to be 5 technically, because I'll have the waxing and the waning side of things. But yeah, I think doing more than that is going to be more challenging than it's worth. You meant no problem, but your fingers are too big, so you press so many buttons. Yeah, I know what that's like. I'm just very bad at typing, and my phone is very bad at interpreting. So between the two of them, we say all kinds of wild things. Only some of which are on purpose. Well, I don't know about this. I feel like the negative space wants to be bigger. I guess it's okay. Okay, so that was the, now we want this. And then yeah, I kind of feel like the red part I want to be a little bit larger than it is in that first one. I don't know how to accomplish that though. Like that might just be a skill issue. I suppose I could go back in with some of the red and just make it a little bigger, but I kind of don't really want to do that. It feels like cheating. And really, that's silly because there's no cheating in nail art. There's just what you can do. But you know, my brain is a big old idiot sometimes. And that's all there is to that. Fishies do find worms tasty, at least some fishies. Alright, now there would be a new moon here in this space, which I guess I could sort of indicate by having like a hollow moon, but I feel like that's going to be beyond my ability to do at the moment. You know, some days my skill level is higher than others. And live streams, on average, tend to drop my skill level by several percentage points because my brain is doing too many other things. I just got an awesome big fluff, so that's nice. There we go. Yeah, stamping is cheating. Yeah, see, stamping is absolutely not cheating. I love stamping. But sometimes, for certain manis, it feels like stamping is cheating. And that's ridiculous. It's only when I have set out to do a hand-drawn piece, though, that I feel like if I resort to stamping some portion of it, then I have cheated. In all other circumstances, stamping is not cheating. Yeah. Just gonna pause and have a drink of water. Ooh, yeah. Okay. I actually even brought out this in case I wanted to stamp some moon phases, and then I just completely disregarded that when I was doing my planning stage. So, you know, good job, me. Way to go, brain. All right, let's add a little more thinner. That was a lot of thinner. I'm gonna definitely need to add a bit more actual polish to that as well. Okay. I hear some nonsense out in the hallway that I suspect means that Cinnamon, the little menace, has harassed her sister too much and is being expelled from Brian's office. They're starting to be able to share space together without actual fighting, but it's definitely slow going, and Cinna really likes to cause some shit at every possible opportunity. She just can't resist. She really wants to play. She's a young, excitable cat. She wants to be friends. And Jammy is an old lady who just really wants her to fuck off and leave her alone. Which is valid, but whoop. Just almost lost my whole moon area there, but all right, there's the half. Definitely, oh boy, yeah, no, I went well past where I meant to there. I think I'm gonna have to do some cleanup in there. Hello, welcome, Sassy. We're doing Moony Snacks. Okay, I'll come back and clean that up in a bit. First, I want to do another. So that would be a full moon, and then the next one will be a half moon facing the other direction. Oh boy. This is the part where I have to start doing awkward angles because I am streaming, which of course super helps with the precision. There we go. Definitely need to smooth out this line here. And then, oh shit, this is supposed to be the tail. Damn. Okay. Well, I guess it's not the tail. I guess it's just more snake. I guess this snake doesn't have a tail. We'll start to narrow it out here. And you know, we'll leave the tail portion as an exercise for the viewer to imagine what the tail portion would look like. Okay. We're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. I'm gonna do some cleanup inside these little moons to try and clear out a little bit more space. I'm just gonna scroll up a little bit and see what I missed. Michelle, you're a menace. That's okay. We like that here. We got a lot of hellos to and from Sassy there. Meme, you haven't done a Lunar New Year mani yet? Life is like that. Never-ending snack, yes. Cat dog snack, but just 2 snacks. Yes, we're doing Lunar New Year worm. Hello, Ashley. Yeah. I'm a good chunk of the way through it, but I need to fix some stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to successfully do that, and if not, then I might have to just go in and do some painting. Or you know, maybe it'll just not look like I hoped it would look like, and that's okay too. Sometimes the mani is not everything you dreamed it would be, and you just have to learn to love the mani that you've got. If you can't be with the mani you love the mani you're with. That's a famous song, isn't it? I do have a single penis tongue, but I think only Katya would interpret it as a penis. I don't know how she saw those tongues as penises, but it was extremely funny. Just goes to show you anything can look like a penis if you make it sort of fleshy colored and show it to someone who doesn't look at penises. All right. Oh, what nonsense is Polished Mess bringing in here? I didn't see any nonsense. Anything that Polished Mess brings in here is pure, unmitigated brilliance. Y'all can bully her in Nicole's Discord, but here in my stream, Ashley gets to be the bully. All right, I think this is kind of going to work a little bit to help me feel a little better about some of these moons. It's not going to 100% sort of correct the things that I feel like I could have done better, but it's definitely helping. Get a little half moon action in here. She's always bringing her nonsense. Yeah. I love that, though. I love her nonsense. I'm here for the nonsense. All right. There's that one, and then let's touch up this crescent. I almost said this croissant, and now I want croissants, because deliciousness. I'm hunger. I have to figure out what I'm going to feed Kat on Saturday. What should I feed Kat on Saturday? She's going to be here for lunch. Do I bake? Maybe I should bake. Not croissants, though. I'm not fucking baking croissants. That's too much goddamn work. Nobody's worth that. The fucking Queen of England isn't worth that much work. Well, but there's no Queen of England anymore. Damn. Just remembered that. We're getting some definitions here. We got Ashley is nonsense, Linnery is tomfoolery, and Nicole is shenanigans. Yeah, that seems accurate. Scones and tea. Scones and tea is never a bad thing. But I feel like they might need something a little bit more robust, since they're in the middle of a long drive. Last time I did, the fuck did I do last time? Eggs Benedict. With homemade biscuits for the base. That was pretty fucking good. I can buy shortbread? No, I can't buy shortbread. What the hell, man? That's illegal where I come from. You have to bake shortbread or it doesn't count. Scones and tea is very cat-coded. I actually am reasonably happy with how this came out. This is pretty good, y'all. And, like, it actually did not take a ridiculously long time. That's 1 hour. That's not bad. Make poutine? Are you fucking kidding me? That means I would have to go buy potatoes, cut the potatoes, fry the potatoes, deep fry them in the deep fryer that I don't own. Like, what the hell, man? If you buy it, it's obviously dull bread. Y'all. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Because my other hand is also unpainted, I'm gonna go ahead and just do some Love Struck and some. Actually, maybe I'll do, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do the magnetic base as well, but then just do like a gold accent nail. Because this hand needs, am I saying cat isn't worth it? No, cat is absolutely worth it. But also, fuck no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, anytime anybody visits Nicole or Linnery, I think the expectation should in fact be fresh baked sourdough. Like baked that morning, still warm, just a little bit. Like cooled enough that cutting it doesn't fuck up the crumb, but still just a little bit warm. A lovely salad with a protein. Yeah, poutine is a crazy amount of work. I mean, unless you like have a deep fryer and are a chip truck. The thing with poutine is that like you can't just make poutine from scratch. You have to buy the brown gravy that comes out of a can. Sassy, I did Eggs Benedict last time. Y'all are ridiculous. I wonder if I have wonder if I have enough stuff to make a quiche. I'd probably need to buy something to put in the quiche. Yeah, I have eggs and cream for sure. I'm just not sure, and of course I have stuff to make the pastry. I'm just not sure if I have stuff in the freezer that will be good to like put in the quiche as filling. Because you can't just have like fucking eggs and cream. You need cheese, you need other stuff, some kind of veggies or something. Something else has to go in there. Or it's not actually quiche. It's just, I don't even know what you would call that at that point. Custard pie. Weird random custard pie. How about haggis? Yeah, okay. Your 9-year-old really wants to try poutine. He saw it in a cartoon called We Bare Bears. Yeah, I mean, poutine is delicious, but it's really more of a 2 a.m. getting out of the bar drunk food. It is best eaten 2 a.m. drunk from a chip truck. That's the optimal poutine. And the brown gravy has to come out of a can. The cheese curd has to be fresh. And the chips themselves have to be like the slightly thick cut, like home style cut, like with the skin still on, and ideally they should be double fried. All right. Tell you what I have and you'll tell me what I can do? No, that's crazy. I don't know what I have. I'm doing my nails. I'm not going to stop doing my nails so I can go downstairs and rummage through the freezer and tell you what I have. That's crazy talk. I might have some bacon. Bacon is good in a quiche. We'll see. Sounds like the rules for a Philly cheesesteak. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing, Kat. Like, it's gonna be the best. Like the best Philly cheesesteak is a little dirty. The place is a little sketchy. It's kind of a hole in the wall. You know, like there's just, it is what it is. It's drunk food. Yeah, Kat needs to be drunk when she visits to get poutine, and also she has to be visiting in fucking Canada where we can go to a goddamn poutine food truck. I've only had a real Philly cheesesteak once, in Philly. When Brian and I went. Why the hell were we in Philly? I don't remember why we were in Philly. We were in Philly for something or other. And one of the things we did was go get a cheesesteak, because you have to. That was years ago. That was like pre-pandemic. It was another time. No, I don't have the entire contents of my freezer memorized. Michelle, do you have the entire contents of your freezer memorized? If yes, I demand you tell us right now without looking. List the entire contents of your freezer. I actually know most of what's in my freezer because it's not that big a freezer, but there's definitely some mysteries buried deep. In theory, I could also go to the grocery store tomorrow, but that's a pain in the ass. I don't want to do that. More to the point, I don't want to make Brian do that because he's the driver. The poor man has to put up with so much already. Garlic, cloves, and frozen berries, that's it at the moment? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, Kat, I know the vast majority of what's in my freezer. but there's definitely like, there's some things in there that are forgotten. Usually because they were purchased for one thing and part of it got used for that one thing, and then we put the rest in there and forgot about it. Like there may or may not still be some hatch green chicken, green chili chicken, hatch green chili chicken in there. Green chicken. Yeah. I like it when my brain is working good. Oh yeah, I also like it when I totally flood my cuticle. Nice. Uh-oh, and there's a fuzz. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, let's just pull this out of here and get this sorted out. There we go. All right. So for this one, just to be clear, I'm not doing the snake on this other hand. I don't want anyone to get concerned that I'm gonna do a whole other hour of fucking nail art. I'm just gonna do this. I'll do the red glitter. Actually, I was thinking about doing one nail in gold, wasn't I? Maybe I could do a gold French tip. You want to make poutine now? Yeah, when I'm in Canada, anybody can come visit me in Canada. But right now I'm not in Canada, so it's not going to work. You can go there, but I won't be there to visit. We have been looking at real estate, though. I just dropped my cleanup brush. We've been looking at real estate. Not anywhere where there's good poutine, but there's at least places where I could get the gravy, the right kind of gravy. And road trips can be made. It's only a 9 out of 10 visit if Peggy isn't there. I have for many years jokingly referred to it as Soviet Kanukistan. And I feel like it used to be more appropriate than it is these days. Which I consider to be unfortunate. Canada. All right. We'll do one coat of Love Struck after this, and then, I don't know, do I want to do a little bit of gold? Do I want to do like a thin gold, like mini French tip? That's always kind of hard to do on the left hand, but... You've been to Vancouver? I lived in Vancouver briefly. It was a terrible experience. Not because of Vancouver. It was nothing Vancouver did. It was, the whole experience was awful. Or a line, maybe? Yep. I could do a line. Actually, like a vertical line bisecting the nail could be kind of cute. Or I could actually stamp on this hand. Or I could just do the fucking red sparkles and leave it at that. Toronto and Ontario were fun. Where else did you go in Ontario, Meme? Besides Trana. Yes, that's how it's pronounced. For anybody unfamiliar, it's Trana. Not Toronto. Anybody who pronounces it Toronto is not from Toronto. You're from Atlanta, Michelle? Mimi, you went to Niagara Falls? Niagara Falls is good. Michelle, did you drive to Vancouver? Or did you fly? It's a beautiful drive up the coast. I haven't done the West Coast drive. I've done the East Coast drive, and I've seen enough of the West Coast, photos of enough of the West Coast drive to know that it's fucking gorgeous. I would love to be able to do that at some point in time. I haven't really, aside from Vancouver, I have really not visited any of the West Coast at all of North America. You flew, Michelle? I mean, I don't blame you, but I am a fan of a road trip. I really like a good road trip. You do have to be reasonably prepared, and that would be an extremely long one. From Atlanta. I have been to Atlanta once for a wedding at, I think it's called Buford Dam. Buford Falls? Buford something? Something like that. And we went into Atlanta proper and went to the aquarium, which was incredible. They freaking whale sharks. Whale sharks at an aquarium. It was goddamn majestic. Buford Dam, that's what it is? Okay. Yeah, it was a wedding. It was very forgettable. I don't remember anything about the wedding itself, but I remember that's not true. I remember a little bit about the wedding. I remember that Brian and I had glow stick bracelets and danced badly. And they had bubble blower thingies. But yeah, the aquarium was amazing. We didn't get to see nearly enough of it. It's too big. You can't do that aquarium in one day. It's impossible. Not if you want to actually like really appreciate seeing everything. And there's like, first of all, we were traveling, so there were kind of built-in time limits for stuff, but also there's just a limit to how much peopling I can manage in a day, and an aquarium is a very people-y experience. So, Couch Potato, you've never been to Canada or America? How many European countries have you been to, Couch Potato? Before I start feeling sorry for you not having been to Canada or America, I need to know how many European countries you've been to. I'm guessing that it won't inspire a lot of sympathy. Yeah, I'm sure maybe if you like went early in the morning, you could do the whole thing, but like, I can't handle that many people for that long at a time. My brain gets too full. I need to get away. I can do like 4 hours with that many people, tops, if I'm mentally prepared for it. All right, I need to do a little bit of cleanup there. Let me just move these. Oop. There we go. That incredibly loud crashing was the magnet attaching itself to the little magnet wall I have, which I can actually show to the YouTube or to the Instagram people. That's my little handy dandy magnet storage. YouTube people don't get to see it, sorry. Maybe if you're lucky, I'll go scroll and find a screenshot of it or remember to take a photo of it or something. Probably not. You'll probably just have to suffer never knowing what my magnet wall looks like. A tragedy, really. It's not even all my magnets. It's like maybe half of them. But okay. Yeah, so do I want to do a little gold thing, or do I want to just leave it at that? I might just leave it at this. I might just top coat and call it. I shouldn't have put my magnet away though, because, oh, I guess actually if I do a seal glaze, I don't have to worry about that. I'll just do seal glaze and then top coat the other hand and then top coat this hand. And then it can be done, and I don't have to screw around with magnetizing another layer. This is why I love smudge-free top coats that actually work. Because of the amount of magnetics I do. It just speeds things up a lot, because I don't have to magnetize the top coat if I don't feel like it. When they start to chip, you can add the gold. Michelle, you say that like I don't have a shitload of swatching to do. These are not going to stay on my nails nearly long enough to start chipping. Not a chance. Okay. Do I need to worry about a smudge proof with this? Nah, this should be fine. I think this will be okay without. Does visiting family count as a vacation? Couch Potato, nobody was talking about vacation. We're just talking about have you been. That, for me, I would say anything that includes stopping somewhere and spending any amount of time there that is not just like a layover in an airport or train station. Like, I have not vacationed in Vancouver. I got there and started looking for work the same day, and then got 3 jobs, and then worked every single day that I was there until it was time to leave. So, you know, but I'm not going to say I didn't go to Vancouver. All right. I'm still waiting to hear how many countries you have been to in Europe, so that I know whether or not I should be feeling sorry for you about not having visited Canada and the US. I noticed that you're stalling because you know that you're not going to get sympathy. I've only ever been to Europe once. This was with my ex. We flew over to England and then flew across to, we did, what did we do? We did Amsterdam, we did Paris, and we did what most people call Bruges. And then back to London and then home. Yes, Couch Potato, this polished mess nonsense, not counting nail polish as supplies leaking through into reality. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to be on an actual fancy vacation to have been somewhere. You've been to London, May? I liked it. It was pretty nice in London. Wasn't there for a very long time, but the only problem was I could not find a decent cup of coffee. I'm sure that places exist in London to get a decent cup of coffee, but I was not able to find one during the short period of time that I was there. That's the only okay, first of all, May, you cannot count London as a European country. That's not how that works. I refuse. It's a good thing you like tea, Cat. Yeah. Too crowded for you? Yeah, it is very crowded. All right, let's close this up. Otherwise I will forget about it. Let's clean up my stamper head. No, England is not really Europe. They use Costa in England for coffee and tea. What? I don't know what that means, Michelle. What does that mean? I think that my Lunar New Year's nails are pretty, y'all. And I think that they're done. I have some regrets about screwing up the pinky, but you know what? I could just paint I could paint the tail on the nail on the thumbnail of the other hand. I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not really feeling dedicated enough to my annoyance to redo any nails. But yeah, Kat, it's not Europe, but it's not really Europe. Costa is Starbucks. Okay. Couch Potato, you've been to Macedonia, Croatia, Serbia, Greece, and Gran Canaria Islands. Last time was when you were 14. Okay. You get a little bit of sympathy for it having been a long time ago, but less sympathy for having been to a reasonable number of countries. So I will give you a little bit for not having traveled outside your own country since you were 14. Yeah, I agree, Linry. They're cute, despite my screw up on my little sneck. I am reasonably pleased with them, and I will probably end up taking off this hand tomorrow so that I can swatch. Actually, no, I won't. I won't, because I won't be able to swatch tomorrow because I have to clean and figure out what I'm doing for lunch and possibly end up cooking for Cat. Yeah, Michelle, I have seen some photos of Serbia and Croatia that made me just, like, jaw drop, absolutely want to go there. Fucking gorgeous. All right, y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me and helping me make decisions about my Lunar New Year mani. And thank you for the suggestions on what to feed Cat. I'll go scope out my freezer contents, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know what I end up feeding Cat. We might end up just getting some fucking takeout for all I know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'll put up the VOD here on Instagram immediately, and then hopefully I will be able to find some time tomorrow to edit up the YouTube version of the VOD for those guys up there. Yeah. And maybe next week I'll be streaming using an actual camera. Maybe. You never know. It could happen. We'll find out. Okay, bye. Bye-bye.